Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
A completely new show.
We got some young blood in, so what we're doing is we're giving them movies that we grew up on, and they have never seen, and they will give their opinions, and we will watch them again and see if they still stand up to what we loved.
Right.
That's the premise.
That sounds good. Sounds good.
Same players: Jay, Ray, Carl, you, me, and a barrage of potty mouth.
What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
And what's the first movie that we have forced them to watch?
The North Shore.
That's right.
1987.
1987, one of the best movies of the year. I think it won an Academy Award.
I can't even remember when I first saw this movie.
Me neither.
But I think it was about the time when I was watching Matt Adler, who plays Rick Kane in this movie, in another movie with Sean Astin called Whitewater Summer.
Oh.
With Kevin Bacon as the evil, kind of like a scoutmaster type of thing.
Sweet.
Huh.
Yeah.
And Matt Adler was one of the kids that was, and Sean Astin.
That's why they picked Sean Astin to be in whatchamacallit in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they did. Because
Adler's also the kid. Adler's also the kid in Flight of the Navigator.
That's right. He is.
Yeah.
He's the brother.
Yeah, I recognized him from something. I was like, I couldn't
place it. But thank you, Carl.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Who was that? Did you say Sean Astin or
no? The main guy in North Shore.
Oh yeah, he was also in Teen Wolf.
Oh yeah,
he was in Teen Wolf.
Yeah, he was the one that wasn't comfortable with Marty McFly turning into a Teen Wolf.
Oh,
we don't like your kind here.
That's right too.
Played Lewis.
That's funny. Yeah, he felt familiar, but I just couldn't place it. That's awesome.
Yeah. He played, I believe he also played background in a lot of movies. He was a true extra that made it into, he got lines.
Yeah. They made one movie.
I'm not sure what hooked me into this movie because I'm not like I've never surfed.
No.
And I didn't grow up in a surfing community.
We did not.
But there was something about this movie. I think it's quotability.
Yeah. I would go with that. Plus again, Cocaine Bear would have been 10 times better if it had some cool tunes behind it.
That's right.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's some good jams in this one.
The montages are awesome.
I was just gonna say,
am I the one? Come on. So this movie just sort of clicked where saying, man, this is not the greatest movie of all time, but somehow it speaks to me. Richie, what?
Well, it was just part.
Wait, Carl was going to say something.
Go ahead.
Well, I said a couple of weeks ago that I saw this a long time ago, but I've never seen it before. I was mixing up with Big Wednesday.
Oh.
See?
I never saw it until today.
Really?
Wow.
Carl's on our side. Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
What? That ruins the whole premise of the show.
No, that's fun.
He was busy watching the Dodgers game. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He missed out.
Yeah.
So did the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't no more Dodger games.
Well, Arizona's not faring too well anyway.
So Richie, how?
So this was like I found this. It was like I stumbled upon it, just like all the other 80. Like it was like on a Friday night, and it was like whatever channel had it, and it was like that. It was like Legend of Billie Jean. This one, you know what I mean?
God. Or like the Wizard.
Yeah.
But it was this one, Legend of Billie Jean. It was Gleaming the Cube. It was like lumped in with all that. Gleaming the Cube, if you boys haven't seen it, it will be on the show.
Yes, it's another Christian Slater masterpiece.
Isn't that a pool?
Huh?
Is that a pool?
No, skateboard.
No, skateboard movie.
Yeah.
Let me give the premise of this movie.
Oh,
For
please.
those who are not unfamiliar, after learning how to surf
Complicated.
by using the local wave tanks in Arizona, resident Rick Kane, that is, played by Matt Adler, uses his winnings from a recent contest to fly to Hawaii and try to make a living for himself as a professional wave rider. He gets off to a rough start as he finds riding the ocean a lot different than the simulated waves back home. But he soon finds an aging mentor, surf guru Chandler, Gregory Harrison, and friend in local girl Kiani Peeples.
Hell yeah.
They didn't even mention Turtle in the...
Yeah, and then...
He's like one of the biggest parts.
He's in almost every scene.
That's what I mean. Like,
there were
Lance
two...
Burkhart.
There were two professional reviews of this still on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
One is the picture generally comes off as an affable and perfectly watchable piece of work. And then the second one was North Shore keeps threatening to expire from sheer brainlessness. But then comes an evening vista that shows how Sunset Beach got its name, or a crash of waves that looks like a living hakusai, whatever that is, and you realize summer is still very much with us. That's a terrible review.
Oh my gosh,
that is.
That's awesome. This is the perfect movie for this episode then, because it's two opposite sides of the spectrum.
Akusa is Hawaiian, just like
I got that part. I knew it was Hawaiian.
just like he said, you may know that the Eskimos have 100 different words for snow.
Right.
Hawaiians have 100 different words for waves
and ocean conditions. Is the full quote.
Bruh.
Bruh.
That's how much we've seen this movie.
You like this mask? It's like the last one. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into the meat of this. We talked about watching it. Let's hear from the other half of the show. What are your impressions when you first watched this wonderful masterpiece? Sure.
I'll go first. So about the first 10 minutes of the movie, I was like, I'm gonna absolutely hate this movie. It was I could understand like the storyline, like I get it, but when Rick gets to Hawaii, first they made Hawaii look like a third world country.
Yeah,
and I was
burning
like,
the crops.
Yeah, the buy me drink girls in the bar, and I was like, come on, like Hawaii's not like this.
Yeah,
and it was a little unbelievable to think that he went there with nothing, and then he just kind of stumbled upon a bunch of good luck.
He went there with $500, my friend.
Yeah, some cash prize.
Like that now.
Anyways,
it was like that.
But the longer the movie went on, the more I actually enjoyed it. So after the first 10-15 minutes of it, as the movie went along and I realized it's just a corny 80s movie, I actually liked it the longer it went on. So it wasn't that bad, but I had very low hopes for it within the first few scenes for sure.
Right.
Okay.
Slow start, got into it, enjoyed the question.
Would you watch it again just because?
I would, yeah. I'd watch it again, yeah. I because it is quotable. I mean, it's just I've been to Hawaii a handful of times, so it is funny to see like how they treat the locals, and
right.
I like the aspect of that, but yeah, I would definitely watch it again for sure.
Yeah. All right,
Ray.
So yeah, when I watched this movie, I went in with the mindset of I remember 90s movies, 80s movies, like whatever the subject is, they're gonna play it all the way out. And I've only really seen like the only comparable movie I could think of that with surfing would be like Surf Ninjas or Point Break. But what I did enjoy about this movie, because I was with Jay, like I watched this, I'm like, this is gonna be a slog. Like this is gonna be so cheesy. I don't know if I can do this, but powered through. And like What I enjoyed though is the montages, right? Like when he finds Chandler and he's trying the different boards. He starts out on a heavy, like old Hawaiian board to learn the waves, learn the ocean. Like, okay, this is cool. This is a deeper surfing movie than what I've seen. And then they're making fun of him because he has 3 fins on his board versus only 2. That was really cool.
No one's a 20 anymore.
Yeah, like, and then those 2 random guys he befriends that like, hey, getting all jape and we'll go burn stuff, and like they're like running around like, oh, this is crazy.
That was what's his name, Akalupo. He's a real surfer.
Yeah,
there's some real like Laird Hamilton.
Yeah, Laird Hamilton. Alex Rogers was
bro.
Are you talking about that bastard?
Lance Burkhart, that asshole.
Lance Burkhart, you bastard.
that bastard. One thing I really enjoyed was like they took it very seriously, and you became definitely committed. Even like the sappy love story, like it was very montagey, and like they're running through the beach and they're falling in love, and like the sunset, it's perfect, like Top Gun kind of feel a little bit. I dug that.
The hut.
I definitely. What was that?
It was like the hut in the middle of like the bamboo forest. Like, this is a good spot as any.
And then like the other evil group, like they had like the lieutenant that's like the antagonist to him that he fights with. Yeah, but then like the stoic, like, I will let this pass. Like, you have earned my respect, especially towards the end of the movie.
That's
beat him by number 2.
That's
you defeated him. You showed strength, young warrior.
The Honorable Vince Moaloka.
So I like that. But Lance Burkhart was, I got to say this. I love Laird Hamilton. Like watching him surf, bro. Like when he's just laying back on the wave, bro. That was so cool. Yeah. Like I get it. Like, this guy is legit. Like no wonder he's the best of the best. Yeah. I've heard of him through like Rogan's podcast and his supplements and superfoods, but seeing him in his prime, he was like 22 when they filmed that movie, and he's just effortlessly like just laying on the water like it's a cloud. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Really dug that. However, he is a terrible actor. Like, terrible actor. No disrespect, Laird, because you're the man, but like his line delivery was so robotic. And he's like,
need this man.
You're the evil. Like I was like, oh, this is awful. Like that kind of
give me a board that works.
Yeah,
my board.
Yeah, dude.
That's an old man's board.
Yeah, dude.
So true.
Too funny.
Dialogue was horrible.
It was so bad, but he's so good as a surfer. So like you let it pass. He's not an actor. He's a surfer. Totally.
Well, here's the great thing, Ray. The more 80s movies and early 90s movie you watch, the dialogue is quite similar. So no one could deliver lines back then.
Yeah, I mean. So, Jay and I were born in 86. I do remember growing up on those movies and rewatching them when I got old. Because I love, we had reruns and stuff. So I definitely remember. That's why it felt very nostalgic too. Like the montages, the pacing. I love at the end, he doesn't just outright win. Lance cheats. And then he gets the respect.
Right.
Because he knows he cheated, but he didn't say anything. He kept his mouth shut. He's like, I just got to ride the wave. And that's the whole point of the movie. It's like Bodie in Point Break. It's just getting out there, riding the wave. It's not about win or losing. I thought that was an awesome ending. It didn't have that cheesy, like, oh, the good guy always wins. No, he was like above it. And he's like,
it was very Bad News Bears.
I dug that. I dug that a lot. Chandler was cool as like a mentor. I thought that was awesome. Like the whole dynamic, like he has to like pay his debt and make up a cool like art logo for his new brand. I thought that was cool. And the art was actually pretty cool. Like the logo they picked. I was like, that's dope.
Well, now
I liked it. I liked the movie.
Now Carl gets to go since it was the first time he has watched this.
Wow. Well, we got to ask Ray a couple questions.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So again,
I know the answers.
Is this like something that you would rewatch just because?
Fuck yeah, man. I would actually show somebody. Like I would show somebody this movie because yeah, man, it's not what I was expecting. It's a movie I've never heard of, bro. I would never watch this movie had I not been quote unquote forced to watch it. Like I would never watch it.
Waterboarded to do it.
Me neither.
Right.
I honestly would never watch reached a certain cult movie status.
It is.
I've never heard of it
because
I would totally watch it again.
I saw there were like DVD extras on a recent re-release of this movie where Gregory Harrison and everyone talk about being in the movie. And like what made it special to them.
Is there like a director's cut of this out there somewhere?
I don't know if there's I think this is the cut you get.
We don't need
Yeah.
that. We
Oh,
don't
one
need
more
that.
thing I did want to say though is the only thing I thought was kind of annoying or unnecessary. I didn't think Turtle was necessary, like his friend. Like it could have
Whoa.
just been
Oh my
Chandler.
God.
Oh,
That's my only hot
How-
take. It's a hot take
Turtle.
because his only purpose in that movie is so he can get that cool board that he's designing. But Chandler could have been making that board.
No, but
Like he was unnecessary, in
Turtle,
my opinion.
Turtle, see, Turtle, he is the next up. That's
Right, and
the
he gets
difference.
surpassed.
No. He was just a sander. So now in Chandler's eyes, he made a big gun.
Yeah.
And so he's the next up. That was the thing. This kid, he was sort of a local, been there, so many years and working, as an apprentice, under the apprenticeship, but he only did this and he hid his super talent from Chandler because he was always afraid to show him. And boom, Rick
I
had
just
a
didn't think
fucking
that was necessary. And like their friendship was weird. I didn't think they were like very friendly towards each other. I
Well,
didn't see them, like, being buds.
they just knew each other. Like it was,
Yeah.
it
But
was-
those
Turtle
two
was just a
random
nice
dudes that
guy.
picked him up
Yeah.
could have been that character.
well,
in my
true,
opinion.
but
Well, but Turtle's a real actor.
that is
Not-
true. He
not-
was in
not two.
Tombstone.
Yeah, he was in Tombstone. He was in.
He was playing
he-
Tombstone.
I ain't easy and I ain't your kid.
Oh,
Yeah. No, he's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah, he was a
A
cowboy.
lot.
Yeah.
but still, I think that could have been a replaced character.
I love Turtle.
Oh,
Friends on those short tree friends more better.
People
Yeah,
on
yeah,
those
he talked
strawberry
about
treatments.
so weird.
Well,
That's my only hot take.
no, that pidgin English is what makes him so quotable. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like first,
Yeah.
Carl, give us your impressions before we go
Chandler,
on.
teach me how to surf, not even.
I thought
Take me to dinner. Invite me to dinner. Teach me to shake.
I knew it was like 10 years too late, but I thought Turtle was the dude on the boat in Apocalypse Now.
Oh no.
The
No,
surfer
no.
dude.
Purple haze, man.
that's-
Purple haze. That guy? He's like smoking out of the shotgun.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
He's not that old.
No
I had
shit.
to look it up. I'm like, nah, it's not.
Purple haze, bro.
So, Carl, what did you think of the movie?
I really enjoyed it. It hit all the marks. 1987. The surfing video was great.
Oh, the surfing
Just-
was fantastic.
Yeah.
The
Just-
filming of the surfing was fantastic. in
So
this
cool. Like when they're in the tunnels and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it had
really good.
Jambi in it.
Yes.
Who?
Jambi from Pee Wee.
Pee Wee Herman, the head, the talking
Yeah.
head, the
Yeah.
magic head.
Yeah, that's the professor. That's the photographer.
That's Jambi?
Yeah, that's Jambi.
Wow.
Ah.
Boy, how the hell did you figure that out?
I thought I recognized him.
How could you recognize him? He's that purple head in a box with a genie cap. I would never recognize Jambi without that shit.
He looked familiar. I don't know.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
really liked. I thought Chandler did a great job.
Yeah.
Like really good acting.
well,
yeah.
Gregory
He is a
Harrison,
cool-
he is another like real actor in this movie.
Yeah.
It looked like he was really surfing. Also,
Well, he was. There are some scenes where he was surfing. When they're in the pipeline, they kind of
yeah.
you don't see faces distinctly.
Yeah, and the film gets grainy. You get
Yeah,
cut
but
something else.
But when he's teaching him to surf, he's surfing next to him.
Yeah.
So he can surf.
Yeah.
I likened it to at least as good and kind of similar to Karate Kid.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Somebody brought that up in one of the audience reviews.
Yeah,
Brought up Karate Kid, and I said, it is kind of like
Yeah.
Karate Kid.
I got some
Totally
Miyagi
is.
and
Good
Daniel
job,
San
Carl.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teaching the newbie,
thanks.
passing along the wisdom, and it's not about
Yeah.
the win. It's not about the fight. It's about just enjoying it and taking it in, kind of thing. The discipline behind it all.
and
Work your
and
way
the
up.
respecting of the wave and the respecting of the environment,
Yes.
not
That's
fighting
right.
against it, working
go
with
with
it.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So the whole that's the thing about this movie is the relationships in it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Even
know, it didn't seem forced. It seemed a very natural progression.
It was believable. It wasn't like
with-
so over the top that it's not believable.
Right. And even the pro surfers who like kind of knew him and befriended him were just like, good on you, kid, for getting out here.
Yeah. None of the others they did except for Burkhart, who is a character.
Well, he was the heavy in it, so he had.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's not playing himself in that.
Right.
They don't make any of the other surfers out to be jerks.
Right.
Right.
I thought
not
they
like
also don't. They also don't seem Hawaiian at all.
There's no
Well,
war
a lot of the
machine like
surfers
Point
are in
Break.
Hawaii. They listed where they're all from.
Yeah.
I thought the
New
most
Zealand, Australia.
oh yeah,
Yes.
I thought the most
Philippines.
unrealistic portion of this movie were how they portrayed the locals. The Hawaiian. I thought
Exactly.
everything else was way more believable with Rick and coming from Arizona and competing, but I thought how they portrayed the Hawaiians and the locals.
Are you
I thought that
Except for the
UFO
family
bad.
luau. The family luau looked pretty legit.
the lure was fun, but I'm talking about like just yeah. it
Well,
was- there was one-
maybe parts of it, were like a little shady back in the day. I mean,
like
yeah.
a third world country, like Jay said.
Yeah.
Like that.
I was
they
like,
really,
I was like,
they made it look
are
like
they
it
in-
was like a war zone. Like
Yeah, I could
are
take
they in,
Cambodia.
are they in Bangkok? Because that's
Yeah,
clearly
like
not
Thailand.
Honolulu.
I could take you to
Right.
fucking
Not
I could take
Waikiki
you to
over there.
parts. I could take you to parts of New York in the early '80s and drop you off, and you'll swear it's a third world country.
I've been
You're
to
like,
the
That's
this,
North
this is
Shore.
New York
Like,
City. You're
Me
like,
too.
yeah,
the North Shore is
That's the
so chill.
outsiders.
Like everybody's so nice and like
Right.
very
Yeah.
chill and like not like gonna
So
rob you.
I have seen this movie an obscene amount of times for a '80s rewatch. It's like one of my. I mean, it's on my phone, so it's just
Yeah.
it's sad. It's sad. It's just like
Wow.
Well, it's an easy watch too.
that's what I mean. It's like I have about 30 movies on my phone. At all
90
times.
minutes. You can pick it up at any point in the movie.
Yeah, and it's great. Yeah. So, yeah, I've seen it an obscene amount of times. So
It hit all the nostalgia marks for me. Even
Yeah.
never seen it before.
Right. It felt
I know-
familiar.
Just,
I
No,
know
I've never seen
Carl.
it.
I know Carl's going to watch it again.
oh yeah, I think I know actually.
Yeah, this will be
Well,
in his repertoire.
Well, let's go on to Scene Stealers. That's where we'll talk about our favorite scene in the movie.
Oh,
Whoa.
Who wants to go first? If nobody, I'll go.
I was going to say, give it to the new guys. Let them.
Okay.
Let's see what their favorite scenes are.
Go ahead, Ray.
I mean, I already said it, but when Laird Hamilton was laying on the water, dude, that was probably my absolute favorite scene because I think I stopped it. I'm like, holy crap, like that's insane. Like he makes it look so effortless, and he's just laying. It's just like gliding with it. I'm like, all right, I get it. I'm into surfing now. Like I want to be like that. I want to be like that guy. I get it.
I want
Like, that was probably my absolute favorite scene because I think I stopped it, rewound it, showed my girlfriend. I'm like, look at this. Like this guy's insane. I have no idea what's going on in the movie, but just appreciate this moment. Like, how
Yeah, and
awesome is that? Like in that tunnel, and he's just like, dude, he looks like the Silver Surfer, man. It's like he's just cosmically gliding. I loved it. That was my favorite scene.
Pretty beautiful.
I personally, I like how the movie ended, kind of like how Ray was talking earlier about. I kind of like movies where you expected Rick to come in, win the surfing, title, but he ended up losing because Lance cheated. I really, really liked how they portrayed. He really just won over the respect of like the locals and the other surfers. Here's this kid from Arizona who's never, surfed in a real ocean. So I really liked how the movie ended. And then when he left for, was it New York or where was he going? Was that
Yeah,
where he's
New
going?
York.
Yeah, art school. in New
Yep.
York.
and he left like his girl behind, and I was like, man, he can go back and get that girl whenever he wants. So it was kind of it was a good feel good to me. I was like, dang, he just hooked that girl, and I was like, he come back 2 years later, and she'll still be there waiting for him.
Well, she did
Yeah.
wrap a lava rock in a tea leaf. My
Oh
friend.
yeah, she sure
That's
did.
right. She,
I was like, he got her.
You come back to the North Shore.
That was the real prize.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely loved how the movie ended.
Yeah, I was
Like a
going to say it earlier. It's a very Bad News Bears ending. So if you ever saw the Bad News Bears, the original one,
Mystery Alaska.
they did not. Oh yeah. Hey, don't give all the movies away.
Oh, that's a dope movie.
I love Mystery Alaska.
Oh, okay, then we don't
I'd
have to.
rewatch it though. I haven't seen it in years.
I've actually
haven't
seen the
seen-
movie multiple times.
I saw Mystery Alaska 3 weeks ago. Just like
It's not black ice.
yeah,
plenty of time.
there's plenty of time. This is our pond.
Dude, that one guy,
Circus
the
out
big
there.
tall guy, looks like Elon Musk.
Yeah,
The big tall
crazy
guy
one.
was also in a million movies, including 310 to Yuma.
Yep.
He was one of the bad guys in that.
He was in-
Steel.
he was
Smoking
in,
Aces. He was one of
yeah.
those three brothers, like
Yeah.
the punk rockers.
he was in. What call it? One of the Wolverine movies.
Yeah, he's the Blob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the blob.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, he's the boxing guy.
Well,
Yeah.
back to the North Shore.
And he was
Uh,
also in Russell Crowe's
Yeah,
Robin
Real
Hood
Steel. Oh yeah, yeah. He was
With Birdie. Birdie was in it too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it was like a Mystery Alaska reunion.
Well, Carl,
anything with Nia Peeples in it because she's the Vision.
she was looking quite pretty in this whole movie. The way they shot her, she always was framed nicely.
It was a really well shot
Come on,
movie.
you want to leave me? Pass the point, Mahalo. Boom, boom, boom. That's a Wayne's World quote.
Well done.
I think it hit me most when Chandler finally saw the surfboard that what's his face made.
Turtle.
Turtle, yeah.
That turtle made it.
You made a
And
big
he's like,
gun?
That's a really good job. This is almost as good as me.
Oh wow.
I like that. I like seeing Turtle get a little.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's
Well-
next up.
well,
You're gonna make
One,
big shit.
I'm sorry, Ray, but one of my favorite scene in this is, of course, a scene with Turtle. It's when he picks him up after Rick, the Hooey kid, and gets his belt buckle back.
Oh yeah.
And I think Vince lifted not only Rick's wallet out of that guy's pants, but the kids, the kids
His wallet too.
too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he seemed like he had two wallets in his hand.
Here's a fuck.
Now I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He does.
So even then, you see, Vince has a sense of honor.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
pro
one.
Turtle, Ray.
Yeah.
I'm pro Turtle.
So,
I'm anti-turtle. He is not necessary.
so Turtle's telling Rick how Rick,
His dog.
is kind of supplanting him in his relationship with Chandler, and Rick is getting everything that Turtle wished he had in his relationship with Chandler, and his little speech there is highly quotable.
But Turtle was hiding everything from him. Like he wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Chandler saw Rick's potential right out the chute. Like he saw it, and Turtle never really expressed or showed what he could actually do.
You
Right.
can
I mean, it was kind of Turtle's fault. No,
you can honestly say like Turtle is hiding in his shell.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Oh,
it's terrible. I loved it. that was awful. I loved every minute.
was-
I know. It's so bad.
That's good stuff.
all right.
good.
So rewatchability.
Oh yeah.
Everyone.
I didn't get to do my favorite scene, but good.
I'm sorry. I
It's fine.
apologize.
It's all right.
Richie,
No, no.
what's your
I
favorite
apologize.
scene?
What's your
Oh, no.
favorite scene?
No, I'm good.
Was it the one where was it pig jerky?
Pig jerky.
Good.
Good.
I'm making myself.
That was strange.
No, actually, I'm gonna have to go with Ray. Any of the surf scenes, and you can throw any one of them in. I really love them because it was cool to watch something that I will never do or can never do be done so effortlessly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was cool, like, yeah, watching dude just lay back, but not only him, but just like when they were doing the end with like Mike Occhilupo and Rogers and all
Yeah,
those
when
guys.
all the pro surfers were out
When
there.
they were starting to go, it was really
it's
cool to
awesome.
watch because it was just like, Jesus Christ, they made it look so effortless. Like, and they were riding waves that can kill the average bear. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like Turtle said, they're always pulling people, they're always pulling bodies out of the caves.
Yeah, the cases, man. That's scary as fuck, dude.
Well, that with the pipeline is nothing to Laird Hamilton. What he does now,
shit.
he surfs those gigantic
mega
waves.
Yeah, when you have
where
to be
you gotta
pulled
get
out,
towed in with a jet ski.
I was gonna say you got to be pulled out by a jet ski to surf. Like, I'm good. Soon he's gonna be like, well,
they even showed the wipeouts. Like, I think it was at the end of the movie, and the credits are showing like all the outtakes. And
yeah,
wipeouts, like
yeah.
I'm like just eating shit.
Yeah,
I like that too when Chandler was pointing out, like looking at the ocean, like you see how the water's different there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's a cave there," and he's like figuring out
exactly.
And he's showing him the caves during the calm time, like how much depth it goes for surfing. I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they go out there on their downtime when they can't surf to survey the area so they can know exactly what they're going in for. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I would think I will rewatch this anytime. One of those movies that after I saw it the first time, I just fell in love with it, and I've watched it so many times since then. It's ridiculous.
For a newbie, I'd say
50. Easy.
Definitely. It still holds up, in my opinion. Like, but you got to put yourself in that mindset of like, all right, this is the 80s. There's a different pacing and a different way of storytelling and and the montages and stuff. It's very, very different. But I still have that nostalgia for that way of storytelling. And I for someone who's never seen it, I would rewatch it again. Yeah. Cause like I would rewatch movies just because they're old and I remember when I was young, but being, an adult now and watching it, I'm like, oh, that's still a good movie. It still holds up.
All right. Well, let's give a final grade to North Shore. I'm grading on a curve.
Okay.
But I give this an A.
An A?
An A.
Wow.
For what it is, it's incredibly effective. For an 80s coming of age movie, Karate Kid style thing, I think this just hits all the marks.
You're not wrong. Well, I'll go second since I'm the
second oldest.
I'm gonna go A plus. I just love it. I just love this movie. I'm quite aware how it's an 80s movie and it's dumb and there's no way someone who was a
wave pool
surfer is going to learn how to surf and compete in a incredibly hard competition in a couple weeks. But
it was more than a couple weeks,
right? But that aside,
I'm assuming it was the whole summer,
right? That aside, it's still such a cool movie. Everybody was great in it. There was no the cheese factor was perfect. It had just enough cheese to be like, what are you doing? And then boom, the montage scene and the music brought me right back home. I was 17 again. I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. So there you go. A plus.
So I'm the third oldest.
Yes, you are.
Yes, Carl.
I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. I really
I'm not surprised. Carl.
Like if this was showing on a big screen that I could access, it'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
Like a new.
Yeah, that's true. I've never seen it on a big screen other than my television.
Like a new revised version of it would be awesome.
Have a pool party and get a projection screen.
I was gonna say I have a projector, dude. I'll put it on my back wall.
I'll be there, dude.
From his phone.
But I can't give it. I'm gonna go A minus.
A minus. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess some
It's not perfect.
No,
no.
but I give it an A+ because of nostalgia. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, come in with us.
Having only seen it one time, like I said, I was very skeptical at first, but the movie did grow on me. I'm gonna give it a solid B.
wow.
I would totally watch it again. Yeah, there's something about 80s movies. They're all about inspiration, and you can dream it, you can do it, and
Yeah.
music, montages,
Yeah.
true underdog story. Love it.
So do you think your wife would watch it with you?
No, she would not.
So this is gonna be one of those movies that she's walking. Why are you watching this again? You're like, I want to be just like Rick.
Dude, I have like a string of movies that I watch, and most of them are 80s movies or like early 90s movies. And but yeah, me and her, she thinks they're just cheesy and whatever.
My God.
I love them though. So yeah, she sticks to Hallmark. I'll stick to my cheesy 80s movies.
Yeah, I have to say I agree with Jay. I would give it a B as well. I thought it was great. Like, honestly, I was really into it at the end. Like, during the whole competition, I was like, okay, yes, this is what I've been waiting this whole movie for. Let's see some awesome epic surfing. And some of those shots are just so good, man. Like, they're like in the tunnel with a camera,
Beautiful.
underwater. Like, that was when it was exciting. And you knew he was going to do well and come up to the end. It's like, how's it going to end? How's it going to end? How's he going to win? And then they pull a little, they kind of change it up. You're expecting him to win, right? Like every 80s movie, the guy comes out on top, but he came out better. He came out like on the spiritual side, the higher end of it. Like it's not about winning or losing. It's about the experience. And I was like, okay, yeah, I like this. I like how they ended this because it could have been the cheesy win. He wins the championship, it would make no sense. But the fact that he came close and the other guy was scared enough to cheat to win, I'm like, okay, cool. I like that. So yeah, solid B. I would definitely watch it again. I'd show it to somebody who'd never seen it.
He got the respect and the girl. He's good, man. You don't need no trophy.
Yeah. His intention was to go out and be a shredder, and he ended up being a soul surfer.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, well done, Richie.
I got this girl. He wants to meet you, but I'm getting on a plane. Try look.
Now I'm gonna go do some art, bitches.
Try look.
I like how Turtle.
I'm gonna go draw.
Everyone hits a reef, and you get this girl to go home with you.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, you're cool, you're hot, but I gotta go draw. Like,
in 1987, this movie raked in a solid $3,832,000.
Wow,
that's good.
A bunch of bangers came out in 1987, so I would assume what was the highest grossing film? Predator
in 1987.
Masters of the Universe came out that year. Predator.
Oh, Masters of the Universe.
Over the Top, which is one of the greatest 80s movies ever. That came out in 1987. The Switch, I become a different person.
Aliens?
I just showed Eden the Predator for the first time, and she loved it.
That movie
loved it, dude. She's like, "This is Predator." I'm like, "Yeah, this is Predator." She's like, "Arnold's in this." Like, fuck.
The number one grossing movie in 1977 was Beverly Hills Cop 2.
87.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Okay, that does make sense.
That makes sense. I mean, dude, that was height.
Made $153 million, followed by Platoon at $136 million.
That's a good movie.
Fatal Attraction at $125 and The Untouchables at $76 million.
I told you, man. Bangers came out in 87.
That was a lot of hot movies there.
And then there's
Those
North
are
Shore.
all good. North Shore.
Yeah, North Shore.
Got lost in the caves.
Yeah.
Got lost in the caves.
Princess Bride came out in 87 too.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a lot of competition.
Dude, Monster Squad came out in 1987. Spaceballs, Harry and the Hendersons.
The Running Man.
Oh man.
The Running Man.
The Running Man.
All came out in 1987.
RoboCop.
The Living Daylights.
Oh God.
Batteries not included.
Oh, I just watched that again.
Ernest Goes to Camp.
3 Men and a Baby. Throw Mama from the Train. Eddie Murphy Raw.
What? That was 1987?
Damn, Wall Street came out.
87 was just packed. packed. It was action packed.
That's a
No,
pretty-
seriously,
see all that. I
there's
didn't
like
even see all
so
those
many good
movies.
movies that came out in
I
'87.
think I watched them all.
Dude, The Lost Boys came
know.
out in '87.
Stakeout.
What?
Oh,
Okay.
just so you know, if you guys are
I'm taking a
fans-
time machine back to 1987.
Damn, dude, '87. You can saw something sweet
Man,
every
that
month.
is just
If you guys are fans of Lost Boys soundtrack,
Yes.
Tim Capallo, right?
Police Academy
Tim
4,
Capello?
Citizens on Patrol.
I saw it in
Oh,
theater. Every movie you guys have mentioned, I've seen in theater.
That was the number 14 movie
yeah,
of 1987.
Wow. So, all right, that's
All
the
right,
show.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that
Good
that
job,
was
Pete.
quite a show. Let's give people a teaser on what's coming up in the next episode,
Oh, we have
which is
Pump up the
pump
volume.
up the volume.
Pump Up the Volume.
Pump Up the Volume,
Don't forget
Pump Up
that. I
the
just
Volume.
recently watched it.
I cannot wait to talk about that movie. Like, really?
Yeah.
I wish I had wrote notes down while watching that movie. I have
There's a lot
so
to
much
say.
to say about
I've
that
got-
movie.
After what rewatch, I hadn't seen it in a long time, but
Neither have I.
we will discuss it.
What's a long time?
I'd say I haven't seen it in at least 10 years,
Oh,
10,
okay,
10
all right,
to
then that's a
15
long time.
years.
So it's
That's
like
a-
watching it for the first time again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I go
never
like
seen it. I've
25
never
years.
heard of that movie.
I have seen it at least in the last 10 years. I probably saw it at least 10 times.
Wow.
So once a year flick for
Are
you?
you serious?
Easily.
So until next time,
I'm Richie.
I'm Jim.
Carl.
Jay.
And Ray.
Good night, Dan.